Hello and welcome everyone to the last race of this season, of the year for these boys as well. So you have a little bit of a crash there already to start things off. We're halfway through practice, only got 30 minutes and we start 15 minutes in. Hello and welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix, the ultimate race of this season. The last one where, well, not much gets decided. This man, Dikra, won last race in what can only be called incredible fashion. I highly recommend you go back and rewatch that if you haven't already. It's on the YouTube. Absolutely have a look. Incredible job there. He secured the championship, and he has been indomitable. He's really good this season. I went for a word I wasn't ready for. Yeah, he's been really good. Very solid last season. He showed some strengths, but yeah, far away from a championship. His teammate got it then. And this season, it's been him on top the whole time. And with one race to spare, he managed to close it in Japan. So, let's have a look at someone for the background. And let's quickly have a look at, well, the most pointless, oh yeah, no, it did work, just a little while, but there we go, calendar. Well, yes, last race, in case you're not aware, we're here on the 14th of December, it is a Sunday as well, in case you are confused. End of an 8-race season, and let's look at how things stand in the standings, as a lot of people are spinning right now, and I think that's due to the track kind of drying up, but the tires overheating because they are wet. Dikra, as you can see, his worst finish is second place after 7 races. I'm sure he's going to try to extend that today. If he finishes anywhere below second, that would make it his worst finish of the season. If he can make a third place, that would be incredible. But as you can see, the gap is 17 points. You can gain 16 at most, and Domska is out of reach by 2 points. Statue behind Domska also out of reach of Domska, so the Lotus drivers and the Lotus team, by extension, have nothing to drive for. They are 1 and 2 in that order, and nothing can change that. Statue very much does. He has 54 points ahead of Dustin's 53, ahead of Marcus Villa's and Gerald Schmidt's 49. They do have a third place to fight for. Now for Statue and Dustin, it's going to be easier. For Marcus and Gerald, that's gonna be a little bit more difficult. They need a little bit of luck. A race win would go a long way. Marcus has shown the quality. Maybe he can do that today. Gerald hasn't quite done that this season, but in previous seasons he absolutely has shown that he's capable. Randers with 37 had a very strong start to the season with a win in the very first race, and then after that fell off a little bit. Not joining didn't help in the next race, and then after that it's been on and off. Sorrow, up and down season again, very strong start, but otherwise very up and down. Still has Randers to overtake ahead of him. Then Cafalor is close behind that. Michael a little bit further behind. It's not impossible, as we said in the press conference, for him to overtake Cafalor, but it's gonna take quite a bit of luck, if we're honest. Behind that we have Silver and Kieser. They're very close together. Kieser has only joined 3 races this season. If he gets a strong finish here, he could very well take that 11th spot. And PC Finch and Mercury, both very inexperienced drivers, I would say, but they are here again today. I'll try and pick up a few extra points. Also, I'm going to quickly update my administration a little bit. Some new people have joined the lobby. That's always good news. And quickly scroll through the rest of the scoring table. Not much to see. I haven't joined the race. Yeah, that's how it stands. And we do have a new driver today, and well, he's not driving right now, so I'm not going to look at him. We do have JJ, return of JJ. He's been out for a little while, but today he is back. Very happy to see him. Also, Geralt is here today, of course. Very important for him to get a good finish for his championship. And, well, what else is there to watch? Well, there's a lot to watch, of course. Marcus is setting good laps, but so is Statue. These two, of course, fighting amongst each other and the people ahead. If either of them can win the race, and Lotus drivers are between them and their competition, and they can absolutely take third place in the season, and that's definitely something they care about. I mean, of course, everybody wants to be first, but if you can't be first, then second is next best, and if you can't be second, then third is next best, and so on and so on. Let's see, our new driver is still not on track. Not a bit is on track. Oh, let's, oh! It's a ballet. It's not, we're not racing, it's ballet. I'm doing pirouettes for the audience. I nobody scripts that. That just happens. That was really funny. Yeah, Donster can keep it in a straight line. He is currently, well, I think he is maybe just doing long runs. He is still on in. Correction. The tires are not accurate. That looks like intermediates. That might very well be softs. And I think, judging by the track, it's going to be softs that he is on right now. And it introduces me, or you, to an interesting wrinkle in this race. We're going to start on intermediates, likely, maybe wets, maybe some will start on wets. There's going to be a wet track from the start. Now, a wet track from the start without rain does mean that it will dry up quickly. And when it does dry up quickly, there's going to be a transition period, and everybody's going to have to figure out, when do I transition, and, well, to what tires? You know, is soft's good, is hard's good? Are we going to see a two-stop? We have 45 laps around Interlagos. Interlagos tends to be pretty heavy on tire wear. So it's going to be important that you make the right strategical calls. And JJ does improve all the way to the top, so it's definitely not an Intus. Making a switch at the right time and having a good strategy beyond that is going to be critical today. And that's why there is every chance to have an upset win here today. Now, it could be Mark. We have maybe 10 drivers that can do it today. It's crazy. This whole season has been crazy in terms of who can do what. You've got, of course, the top 5 in Dika and Donska, of course, the Lotus drivers. They've already won races this season. But Statue, Dustin, and Marcus all can do it. Sorrow, if he has a good start, Sorrow is very much I would call it a momentum-based driver, and I see a lot of people leaving. I'm not sure why that is. I'm looking if there's any messaging about anything. I don't see anything. There we have our new driver. First time he's joining us. I do see some stuttering. Unfortunately, I don't think it can be helped right now. Does sometimes happen that the game stutters a little bit, and it's hard to figure out why. I can see if there's anything on my PC that might be causing it. And while I do that, it's going to be a little bit lower in frames per second. We can kill a couple of Chrome tabs. That's always a good idea. Yeah, kill some memory leaks. I think that should improve things a little bit here and there. It's not as good as I was hoping, so we'll see. We'll see. High CPU usage, and it's a little bit of a puzzle why, but oh no, it's eternally struggling. That is pretty rough I would say. This would also help. Maybe we're good after that. Yeah, that does help quite a bit. Okay. I think we're okay. I think we fixed it. There you go. All right. Back to important things. I don't know why so many people have left, but there's still people driving. Oh, importantly, I see Dustin has left. I don't know he has wheel issues. I'm going to ask him what is going on. Just so that we don't get caught in. I don't know. I do want to see a race, and I don't want to see just practice. Yeah, I think it should be okay. There's not been any announcements in the Discord. I'm keeping an eye on that as well. So I think we're okay. I would hope. All right. I got a message from Dustin. Okay, they're restarting the server. Yeah, restarting the server, and I'm not sure if that's going to be now or after. Okay, they're going to do it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in the waiting room with some music, and I'm going to talk to people to figure out how we're going to do this. All right. Oh, no, it's been good. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll be right back. All right, we are somewhat back. Wasn't so bad. We even got to run most of my ads, so good. Saves us some ad watching later. Okay, so we're going straight into qualifying. Practice essentially finished. It was a mass disconnection event. That's why so many people all left at once. There wasn't them, there was the server. It might have something to do with the fact that I was host. Well, next to that, I'm also streaming, and that might also be why we're seeing issues on my end. So I don't think that was fully coincidental, but whatever the case is, we are back. And, well, people, normally they drive out immediately, but that's because they've picked their setup. And now, that will not be the case. And you see Sorrow immediately realizing, oh, that's not my setup. I'm not ready to go out yet. So one of these will have the word pit disappear behind the name first, and that's the person we're going to follow. You have a lot of... Oh. There is a little bit of lag still. I think, or whatever the case, I'm going to watch Ultimate Keizer do his lap. That's going to be our reference. One lap around Interlagos. And I will say this is a brilliant track. Used to be the last race of the season. And honestly, between this and Abu Dhabi, I would pick this. I think most people would. It is often a better race. It is a very exciting race, interesting race, and anything can happen in Brazil. And on the racetrack as well. So, what's the German man, Ultimate Keizer, gonna do? What is he capable of? Well, quite a lot. I think we've seen relatively often that Keizer is absolutely capable of setting a couple of good laps here and there, beating some very strong drivers. He wasn't here for the whole season, but if he had been here for the whole season, he would absolutely be contender for, well, maybe even third. A very good driver. So, I say third and not first because, you know, the Lotus has been insane. So through the Senna S there, as you could see, into a DRS straight. Fairly long one, and this is where the really tricky stuff begins. Late on the brakes, you want to get a good exit out of this one, so important. You carry the speed all the way through these corners, past that curves and into here. very fast corner, and you want to optimize that speed very well. I don't think he quite did it, but for a banker, that's really solid. Tight section then, right and left. Sector 2 always very tight around here. Really testing your patience. Optimal line there, but flat out through here. Line up to the right for sector 3, which is essentially a straight. Through that corner, get a good exit, and keep the pedal to the metal. DRS open as fast as you can go across the finish line. 11.3 is already a solid time. To the center SS again, and he goes straight for another one, it seems. And Brazil is really a track where you can do that very often in Brazil, more often on this track than others. You see people go lap after lap after lap after lap, one after another. He has set a decent time, the statue improved it, and Geralt is even faster. Dekra puts himself in between Geralt and statue. For reference, Dekra has not preferred. Apparently he's been playing Uno and Worms, so it is just natural for him, I guess, to drive like that. But it's not to normal people. Randers also very, very strong time, 1:10.5, 6/10 faster than the next. We'll be very happy with that. I'm not sure if he thinks he can improve that. I think it's absolutely possible. The track will get better over time. But setting that on a green track has to be encouraging for Randers. He said he already achieved his goal for the season in the first race, winning a race. My thought is, why not do it twice? It's, yeah, nobody's going to stop you if you're fast enough, so. It is going to be a tricky one, of course, because of the rain. Not rain, wet track at the start. It's not raining, but it is a wet track. So essentially you need to start on inters and figure out when is the track dry enough that I can drive faster with slicks. And Dekra does not finish that lap. Marcus VR does finish his lap and goes to the top of the timings. 1:10.4. Moving that bar up and up and up. Orders to try and cross. Geralt goes across lap, but doesn't improve. It might very well be set up for the next lap. I think it's slightly dodgy on entry, but as long as he gets a good exit, it's not that disastrous. It's a decent run out of there. And you can see some of the stronger drivers we have immediately setting strong times. Any exceptions? Well, Soro hasn't set a time yet. Soro is definitely the missing factor in the top, well, what would it be, top 10. Dustin also has a lot to improve, and I'm sure he will. While Randers and Marcus are very close to each other, Geralt being 7/10 off is completely crazy, especially on a track where the lap time is 70 seconds. It's like a percentage off. It's hard to communicate just how insane that gap is. Just trust me on this, I guess. But yeah, Geralt didn't get closer. Soro has now set a time, but he's not any. He's a little bit closer. Domska is a little bit closer, but that's still half a second. Statue also closer, but still half a second. What have Marcus and Randers found that no other driver has? And Randers improved his time. He repeated that performance. What are these two doing that no other driver is doing? Have they found a strategy, a trick in the setup? Are they just better at the wheel? Is there a line that nobody else sees? Let's go on board. Let's have a look. There's a little bit wide there, but that's not half a second for sure. They do extend the track as much as the game will allow them to. This is the most fair. It will be equal for everyone. everyone is allowed to do that. To be honest, the lines aren't crazy, but I feel like it is a downforce difference that is giving Marcus and Randers an advantage in qualifying, at least. In the race, I imagine it could be an advantage, provided you are ahead. It is a race pace, it's hard to say, and especially in the first section of the race, it's gonna be tricky. They all have to drive in the wet on a dry setup. It's gonna be tricky for everyone. In particular, where is Marcus is left? His time is gone. He needs to set a new lap time. Hopefully he's able to come back and repeat that lap time, at least get in the top 2. He very much deserves that. Last time around, of course, he was also so close to a win. Couldn't close it out, unfortunately. I say close to a win. It was more close to second, and a win was absolutely up there, like possible. But yeah, ran out of laps. See, Ditto, he is actually watching for his friend. That's our new driver, although I do see people leaving. And Sorrow improves, and that's a big improvement from Sorrow. P2 currently. Randers still on top. 2/10 now is the gap. 2.5 tenths. Still really big. Statue improves, but it's a tiny improvement. Normally that's a strong improvement, but it's just not enough. Dikra then, our new champion, let me remind you. What is he gonna do? I do see a few people leaving. Hopefully that's not another sign of things to come. Do I see Dustin? I feel like Dustin is also out. What's going on with the server? Or is... Well, hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Hopefully it is just fine. The host will have moved to someone else, and that might end up being a problem. Hopefully that is not the case. Little technical difficulties today then. Dikra finishes the lap, but it's just not enough. It's never enough. It's better than Statue this time, so that's good. But it's just not enough. Domska then, can he improve? The answer... Well, I'm not sure if that was a lap, so to speak. We do see Dustin and Marcus have now rejoined the session, which is really good to see. He is a little bit jumpy, I don't know exactly why. The game is struggling a little bit. We do see a bit of a ghost car right behind Domska. I feel like that is not a bit. No, it's not a bit. He is in the wrong livery. They should be in the livery, but it does make it easier for us to see that it is Sorrow right behind Domska. Oh, and this might be... hang on. Where is Sorrow? This might be a bit cheeky, because he might get very good slipstream without a risk of collision. Oh, but he makes a mistake, and it's over. Just like that. Just like that. Now, really want to watch here is Marcus. He will want his lap time. He feels like he owed it. Well, he is owed it, and he definitely is. Sort of brilliant lap earlier, but it's been taken away. Because he disconnected somehow. Well, that's maybe voluntarily. It's still not good to see. Let's go on board. While I on my other screen try to get myself up to date a little bit. A lot has happened already. Notably Silver, P8. I think he will be very happy with that if it stays that way. But nothing is certain, especially not in Brazilian Grand Prix qualifying session. PC finish ahead of Mercury. Those two fairly close together. And then we have our new drivers, Onu. Onufmi? I don't know. We're going to call him Onu. Notabene behind that, now Michael. Last of everybody has set a time. But don't think he will be satisfied with that. Oh, he hasn't set a time yet. Okay, sorry. He hasn't set a time at all yet. So that's just the way it is for him. He still needs to set a time. I think he has also left the server earlier and has to redo his work. 2 minutes to go, and that means that, oh, Marcus, he has this lap. Maybe time to cool down, if that's what he wants to do. Or he can go for 2 more laps. I hope he's fueled up enough, or he just needs to retreat immediately back into the pits. He does set a very strong lap time. Immediately back up to P2. And he needs to get back into the pits right now and drive out immediately. And we'll get another shot. Dustin has also set the lap time. He's P4. Very solid job from him. Decred the motor to P5. The reigning champion. He, of course, closed that championship last week in Japan. But he's nowhere near Paul. No one is. Randers has set an incredible time, and Marcus is absolutely the closest out of anyone to go and grab it. But everybody else, they just seem completely out of reach. It doesn't look possible for anyone to beat him. And, well, Dikra is absolutely going to finish this lap. Maybe be able to set another lap time. I don't know if he will. No, I don't think that doesn't look like it. It's P5 for Dikra at best. And other people might still improve. Yeah, Dikra will not be improving anymore. Statue still has a chance to beat the champion. And his teammate Domska will also have a shot at it. Statue's gonna cross the line first. It looks like he's finishing a lap. If they're on the left side, they're normally finishing one. It's an improvement by like 6 thousandths. That's not enough for any position. What's Domska gonna do? I feel like there has been an improvement by Michael. Michael in P11 now. I'm not sure he will be happy with that. Cavalo, his rival, in P10 ahead. Domska then, the former champion. Still very strong driver. Second place in the championship secured. What is it going to be for this race? P4, he improves by quite a lot. P4 is very good, but Dustin does have a right to reply. And that's his reply, unfortunately. Oh, let's not look at that. Marcus, is he gonna try and get pole position? There's no improvement from him. Statue is not driving. Kies is not driving. Geralt is not driving. Very many people are not driving anymore. Michael still on a lap. And that might be the last one out of anyone. Also goes across the line. And that finishes our qualifying session. Randers on an incredible pole position. I think I might be the host. So, 2 minutes. I'm going to hit an ad and then we'll continue. So, yeah, that's a little awkward that I'm the host. I don't mind it. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna let Twitch finish that ad. I'm going to update my administration a little bit here and there. I see the Kies has got ahead of Geralt, Dikra, Dustin, Domska, Soro, Marcus. That's all good. Down from there, we've got Geralt, Cavalo, Michael, Silver, JJ. PC Finch with a very, very solid P14. Mercury, one of me on his first outing, P16. And then Notabene behind that. Okay, so yeah, we should be done with that. So that's the good news. And we're gonna give it a couple more seconds to let everybody get ready, get prepared. There's a 2-minute break for a reason. As the man with power, let's not let it get to my head. Yeah, okay. I've got a good time in mind. So 15 seconds and we will continue. All right, I hope you are ready as well watching at home. Get yourself a drink, get yourself something to snack on. Yeah, get ready because it could be a crazy race. If okay, the issue seems to be that the team had issues, so that's why we got our problems here and there. But yeah, let's have a look at that starting grid. Also, I want to move this to... That's very good. The starting grid for today. We have pole position Randers. The way the season started, that way it is ending. Randers on pole position. Marcus following close behind. Also wants that win. Then we've got Sorrow. Also, I think we'll be very happy there, but also wants that win. And he sees an opportunity. He smells it, I'm sure. Then we have Domska. We have Dustin. We have Dikra. All very strong drivers will be looking to move forwards. Statue, Keze, Gerald, and Cafalor round off the top 10. Next we have Michael. Will be a little bit disappointed, I think, down in P11, but he's got every opportunity with the track being wet at the start. And we have Silver, we have JJ, PC Finch, will be very happy with P14 with this field. Mercury, Bonu on his first outing, P16. And then we have Notabene in P17. That is the way things are at the start. How are they going to be at the finish? I don't know. This is what somebody from the back sees, by the way. It's a little bit... intimidating, but you also see that's a decent run to the start finish. This is pretty it's a small run, relatively small run. So from the back you need to be careful. You will have a bit of a concertina effect, as it's called. Go ahead, we'll break a little earlier. What's it gonna be? Randers at the start. Does he have a good start? Oh, he absolutely does not. Marcus is off flying and immediately takes the lead. Randers, where is he going to end up? He missed the start entirely around the outside. It's Dustin that takes the lead with a brilliant move around the outside of turn 1. Randers immediately in trouble. Has to concede to Domska as well. Sorrow also lost a couple of positions. P5. Marcus looking on the inside of Dustin. Well, it goes well. That's the good news. Bad news is he loses a little bit of time there. Domska is right there around the outside. Domska, hey, you got to do that around this corner. Domska, no, that's not Domska. What a move! What a move from Domska around the outside of a corner where normally you don't see anything happening because it is just, well, maybe dangerous even. Randers all the way dropped down to 7th place. Disastrous start for him, and I feel like the track isn't wet at all. I don't think the track is wet at all, and Dustin will still be buzzing, and he had such a solid start. This is kind of a thing in AMS where sometimes, well, you said, oh, I want the track to be wet at the start, it's still a bit random, and you can just get a very low roll where the track might as well not be wet at all. And I think that's what we're seeing here. I think everybody is on slicks. Everybody that's not on slicks is going to have a very bad time. New driver here. And I see Geralt immediately in the pits. I think he messed up. I don't think he started on slicks. That's when he's going in. Marcus is looking, well, it's not looking at all. I think he's happy to be here for a little moment behind Domska in his wheel tracks. Not that bad of a place to be. Dikra in P8, the reigning champion, lost 2 positions off the start. I don't think it will be too fast. Like, you already got a championship. What more could you want? Well, better finish maybe, but gonna have to fight for that. We did see him down like this in the first race. It's almost a repeat of the first race, except that Randall had a big issue. Oh, and Sorrow does as well. I'm not sure if there was any netcode involved in that, but Sorrow spins out, drops back to P10, does get to keep going. That is very good to see. It would be a shame if anything else happened. Randall's moved up a lot. Ahead of Kiese, and Statue is also behind him. Going side by side through the S's, and Randers retakes 4th place. Marcus fighting with Domska at exactly the same time. Domska does have DRS. He is faster. Is he going to make the move around the outside? He does. Side by side to go. Oh, but a little bit of grass, a little bit of loss of acceleration around the outside. Marcus is going to be for the next corner. What great racing from these two. Marcus does have to concede it though. Domska shows his confidence in this car. He may not be champion, but he's still one of the best drivers that we have seen in this car, I think ever, in this game. He's got very good car control, and Dustin does run away with it a little bit. Where 2 people are fighting, a 3rd will run away with it. But Marcus just really wants this position. I cannot overstate just how much Marcus wants this. Last race he was so close, he could feel it, he could taste it. He knows he has it in him, and he is back into P2. After what has been a crazy start. Dikra is back to P6, exactly where he started. Cavallo moves up to P7 as well. Randers again, a little bit of a disaster for him. Back to P8. Domska gonna make another move, and that's the real question here. We know he's capable of crazy things. He literally did it this race. Is he gonna do it again? I highly doubt it. Nah, he will not. There's no opportunity there. On the inside here as well, there's nothing. Marcus just has to keep his composure, try to get into a rhythm, and try to start catching Dustin. Cavallo in the clinch with Dikra. Dikra did make another mistake, I think, because Randers is back in P6. Dikra lost that position. Yeah, a lot has happened. No DNFs though. That's very good to see. You see Michael very close to PC Finch. And similarly, it's like the same picture. And PC Finch has to concede that. Where is it? Dikra and Randers. Dikra goes by. And Cavallo. They are just DRS training. Look at the driving that we're seeing here. Outside to inside. Randers trying to make the most of this. Gets DRS again. He needs to get ahead of Dikra and try to run away. Well, that's so hard to do. Because you are driving the reigning champion. And there's a good reason he is the champion. Sorrow is already in the pits. I don't know if that... I don't think that's planned. I just think he's had a bit of a shock with the big spin. Maybe his tires are cooked. I think he will be happy to be out of this car by the end. Well, when the season is over after this race. I don't think that was a very happy marriage between those two. Still has a race to try and make up for has been a tough season for him. And somebody has now retired, and I'm gonna have to go through and figure out who it is. PC Fish is still in. The keys are still in. I'm gonna have to. Oh, we're gonna have to do a little bit of moving people around on my other. Okay, Geralt Smith goes into the pits. Yeah, so much has changed in this race. It'll be a bit of a tough one to make sense of what is actually happening. Meanwhile, I think Mercury is defending against Michael, but Marcus is also defending against Domska. Let's see what happens there. Now, a lot of people are boxing now. This looks to be planned. It very much looks like it was planned pit stops, and I do want to check the timings. The best times aren't that bad, so I don't think it's been wet. I just think whatever people did at the start, maybe it was softs. The tires have expired, and they need new socks. Dikra is now in the lead. This is brilliant, because I was just like fixing things, man. I have to redo the whole order. JJ is in P3. I don't know how temporary this is. I think we've just seen... But it's so early. Lap 7 is so early. No, it's a safety car. That's why. There is a safety car. Ooh, hey. The safety car is out. And that's why we're seeing everybody box, and Dikra hasn't boxed. Is he trying for the flexibility? If you know, you know. A lot of people have decided this is a very good time to box, and I have decided this is a very good time to figure out who is actually retired. And it appears to be Nota Bene. We have lost Nota Bene. That's very unfortunate. Though that is the way it is, and it's also a good opportunity for Sorrow to get back into this race. I would need to lap the car. No, not necessarily. I think he's okay. And the safety car is staying out, so I think it gives Sorrow enough time to catch back up to the pack. And I'm not sure if he needs to... No, I think he also needs to unlap himself. And I'm not sure what the rules are in Amos 2. PC Finch and Michael do get to put themselves fully back into this race. It is a rare safety car in SSR. I say rare because last season it didn't appear at all. This season it's the third time. And Sorrow has decided to box again. He might as well. He might as well. Maybe his damage didn't get fixed. I don't know exactly what's happening there. And he might retire if it is too much of a disaster. Is he? Yeah, he is moving again, so that is good news. He'll be catching up to the back of this pack in no time. We do see Mercury is just in here in this pack, and PC Finch is now catching up. Michael can already see the back of that pack. Presumably, I say, but that's actually Sorrow that he sees. Sorrow has now caught up. So, after a decision that is very reminiscent of a very recent F1 race, Dikra is your race leader. Now, is this a mistake? Or is this actually completely fine? And are we looking at a masterstroke from the reigning champion, putting himself back into a position where he can win this race? He's got Cavalo and JJ behind. They also have not stopped. They can slow down. The man who has been on a tear for most of this race, Dustin. Marcus also very quick, right behind. And Silver in P6. We were very happy to see that. I'm sure one person is happy to see that, although there has been a little bit of a concertina effect, I think. And the safety car appears to be moving. He's allowed to restart now. So there Dikra goes. Oh, somebody else goes in the pit. Other people go into the pits. I don't know exactly what's happening there. Sorrow is in the pits again, and Mercury as well. I don't know what's going on there. But in terms of the restart, it is very much single file, although Statue does look to be overtaking Randus. Silver, sorry, that's not Randus, that's Silver. Randus is right there. And Kiese is also ahead of Silver. So Silver losing a couple of positions. And Randus actually gaining quite a lot. What's going on ahead then? Cavalo has to defend against Dustin. Dustin is on fresher tires. Dikra has a chance to run away. Trying to make this 5 wins out of 8. Only 3 second places. If he manages that, that will be, I think, one of the strongest seasons we've ever seen from anyone. So we'll have DRS here. He's got the faster tires. He's got the faster car in a straight line because of that DRS. Oh, but it is it's a look at defending from Cavalo. He's forced Dustin into a wider line, but it's not enough. And Domska is also right there. Domska doesn't want his teammate to run away either, so he's just going to go for it. With DRS, he tries to get in slipstream on the inside of Dustin. Is he going to make a double overtake? And that's beautiful. Domska showing just how good of a driver he is. Marcus VR just kind of has to spectate in 5th, I'm afraid, for him. Fighting for, well, 2nd place earlier. Now in 5th, looking at, well, through 4th, what Dustin and Domska are doing in 3rd and 2nd. And Dikra is a little bit away. If Dikra can make this work with a 1 stop after this, and everybody else has to stop again, it seems. There's a very good chance he will win. Especially because Dustin doesn't want Domska to win, he wants himself to win. So he's going to overtake, and Domska is just going to have to take it. Cavalo very close behind, is able to defend from Marcus with his DRS. And look at what's going on here. Dustin has to defend against Domska, but Domska on the inside, indefensible. On the inside, Dustin goes. He doesn't want to let this go. He wants to get away from Domska, who is very used to playing DRS games and manages to stay ahead. Cavalo also managed to stay ahead of Marcus. Then we have Statue, will be very happy to see his teammate up there. On the inside of Marcus he goes. Oh, is that an overtake that can stick? Maybe so, because Marcus is a little bit stuck. He's boxed in by a couple of Ferraris. But it's all good. Dustin will have DRS. Will he have enough pace? Small enough of a gap for Dustin to get ahead? He's gonna get close, and if he's smart, actually... Yeah, there's games being played here. I'm not convinced Domska is that slow in a straight line without DRS. He was trying to let Dustin have it, but Dustin thinks, I want to stay behind. I want this DRS. This DRS sounds much better. Let's get it, and let's try and make an overtake, although Domska has a very good exit. It's gonna be tough. Oh, late on the brakes. Ah, no. No chance. Domska leaves a bit of space, but it wasn't needed. Statue ran this. Cavalo lost a couple of positions there, got eaten up a little bit. Puts Marcus back in P4, Statue right behind. When I see Michael has terminal damage, Michael has retired. That's what happened. Back to the clash, the clinch. From Geralt to 7 seconds from him and between him and the leader. And I think, yeah, the safety car is still in the pits, so we don't have another safety car. which means I can remove this now. Oops, that's the second time that happened this season. What are these two gonna do? Dustin does take the bait, and he's gonna have to find a way to get far away enough from Domska that he can secure this position. Oh, and there's a mistake. No, Dikra! The race leader has made it a fatal error. Well, not fatal because he's still driving, but that's a massive error. Back into P9, you make one mistake, you lose 8 positions, and Dustin is in the lead. No, scratch that maybe. Is it Domska? Is it Dustin? It's one of these two, and it appears to be one of these two. They don't want to resolve this yet. Side by side, a fight for the lead of the race. Domska around the outside of the next corner. That's not a move you can make. Why is this camera over there? And Dustin stays ahead. But bad news, Dustin. Now Domska has DRS and there's no gap. There is absolutely no gap. And what's worse is that Marcus is right behind, Statue's right behind, Randers is right behind. This whole race is completely opened up for everyone. Domska has to defend against Marcus, but also has to attack against Dustin. Marcus around the outside of Domska. Domska is on the inside for the last corner though, but it makes a huge mistake. I say a huge mistake, it's a small mistake, but it costs you a whole position. Domska is no longer in contention for the lead as it stands. And Marcus has what he wants. He's got a clean second place, now able to look forwards towards Dustin, who holds the lead of this race. And if you thought last race was crazy, well, do we have a sequel for you? Domska on the inside of Kiesa, then Kiesa not giving him too much of a fight. Nah, scratch that, he is giving him a fight. On the inside here is tricky though. On the inside of the next corner would be preferable, but ooh, a little bit of a lock-up. I think they both made a bit of a mistake there. Now, who is that? Randers sees an opportunity. Gets side by side with Kiesa. Is he gonna get fully past? It does appear to be the case. Randers up to P5. On my list, he's still in P10, so a lot has happened since that restart. Randers moving all the way up. Mark's moving very close. Also, there's more going on here. Randers now in P4. Domska losing a bunch of positions. Randers missing the whole corner, I think. Whatever happened there? Well, seems like we're not done yet, because Cavalo's DRS, Domska's DRS, Kiesa's DRS, they're getting close, but no cigar. Behind that, Dikra is fighting, I think, with Sorrow, who's a lap behind. And somebody else has retired. I think that's Mercury. I have unfortunately lost Mercury. Sorrow will try to get back into the race, and he's missing something for sure. Unfortunate for him, I think it will be mourning a bit of a disaster today, and hopefully in the next set of cars he will have a much better time of it. Definitely has been a pleasure to see all of these drivers. They've all added quite a lot. I just learned from chat that Michael did not indeed have a happy marriage with that Toro Rosso. This specific car is quite a tricky one, and we've seen mistakes from almost everyone on the track. The top 3, I think they've not made any mistakes. Everybody else has done something wrong in the race. Everybody else. We saw Dikra lose his lead, fall back to P9. We saw Domska lose a couple of positions, losing out on an opportunity to fight, and now he's 4 seconds behind the lead and in P6. How fast it can go. I'm not sure if he did anything wrong, but well, he's with the people that did something wrong, and it seems like a lot. So I think he's generally just a little bit unhappy with the car. And Randers, well, it's been a bit of a disaster for Randers, unfortunately. He had a really good qualifying session, and in the race it just hasn't manifested in a similar way. Statue with a double slipstream and a DRS to boot. He's going to get closer to Marcus. Marcus is also going to get closer to Dustin. Is anybody going to make a move here? Ooh, not yet. Statue late on the brakes, though. He's looking, and he's really able to set up, as you can see. I don't think he gets the biggest... Oh, he gets a good exit, actually. Gets a good exit. Everybody has DRS, except for Dustin. Dustin needs to defend this. How is he going to defend this? That's how, apparently. Very good driving from Dustin. I think he has low downforce as well, so good in a straight line. Gives him the ability to stop any pressure from resulting in an overtake. Meanwhile, Randers, Kiese and Domska will be looking to catch up if they can. And Dikra, he's actually just dealing with a back marker. I think we will be unhappy with the fact that you could argue that the flags are not being respected. I do see our new driver, Onu, has also retired, which is tragic. Next season, better cars, hopefully. It's been quite a ride. So, for the lead then, start finish straight, DRS open. Marcus, are you going to be able to make it happen this time? Oh, he looks a lot closer than he has been. But Dustin, so quick in a straight line, even without DRS. Is he going to be able to keep this up for the whole race? He does have to box. Most likely, not by regulation, just because tires will not last that long. Statue on the inside of Marcus. Takes P2. And has an eye on Dustin, who is absolutely far ahead. So this could be solved strategically when they decide to box. When you box, going to be very important between those three. Same with these three. There's a lot to gain here if you box at the right time. Dikra is still, I'm not sure how... Yeah, the blue flags are waving. Oh, he's just gonna send it. Yo! Well, it's a weak link for Tokyo Drift, but we'll give you Interlagos Drift. What a beautiful move there, I think, from Dikra. Moved himself up, but fortunately, I think that's gonna be DRS for Soro, who is... he's entitled to attempt to overtake, and there's been a mistake, I think. No, Dustin is stopping. I did say there's a strategic opportunity here for anyone who wants to take it. Go and box, get yourself new tires, and undercut the whole, the whole field. The fact that he has now stopped means he robs everyone from an undercut. And where does he come out? This is crucial. I'm absolutely here because this is very important. Whereas Geralt is in fact behind, and even if he was ahead, I think he would absolutely let Dustin go and try and get that win, because Dustin now has absolutely the best cars. He got new tires, clean air, and nobody to fight for a little while. Meanwhile, Marcus and Statue are going to have to think about their own stop. Are they going to do it right now? Try and mimic Dustin. I do think we were looking at a, what would regularly be a 2-stop. Maybe even a 3-stop. I see Onu has been disconnected. That's a big shame. Team does seem to be having a couple of issues, and for whatever reason, that also means that you disconnect in Amos too. Marcus now takes the lead of the race ahead of Statue, who will have DRS for the next bunch of quarters. You see Domska falling behind a little bit. Kiese in P4 now, behind Randers. And I feel like they're getting little by little close to these people. And as such a strong qualifying, didn't really have a good start of the race at all. Falling so far back. Brought himself back into what is effectively a P4 right now. So what does Statue bring to the table then for this tour around? We'll see. Well, the group behind us was quite close to each other, but not as close as these two. Statue looking on the inside. Is going to be defended by Marcus. Not really, no. He says go ahead and take it. I will have DRS for the next straight, and I feel like that's a better straight to have DRS on. There's only lap 21, and it might just be that they're not fighting each other because they don't want to lose time. To a charging Dustin, who needs to be setting lap times that I think are a little bit faster than what he's doing. Marcus retakes that lead, but it seems not as important as maybe it ought to be. As Dekra is now catching up to Dustin. Maybe Dustin made a bit of a mistake. Or Dekra is just incredibly fast. He has been held up by Sorrow quite a bit. It's hard to say what strategy everybody's on. It could literally be anything. That's my stance on the matter. Good, my streaming software is struggling a little bit, but the stream itself seems fine, so we'll leave it. Statue again retakes the lead after the first turn. After the next turn, Max gets an opportunity to retake it yet again. There have never been so many overtakes for the lead, and Dekra does go into the pits right now. I think for Dekra, he will try to make that his last stop, which it looks like that's very much possible. And it also looks like he needs that to be his last stop, otherwise his race is essentially the water. Regardless. Randers is really getting a lot closer to the dueling leaders of this race. He is close to Randers, and I think they've signed essentially what could be described as a peace treaty. Marcus and Statue are fighting, but these three are not. That brings the top 5 closer and closer together as Marcus does have DRS. Will he go for a move? If he's smart, he does not. Well, Statue just misses the corner and actually slows both of them down quite a bit. See, I feel like those are a lot closer than they were previously, and the timing does seem to be evidence of that as well. Marcus is now faster in a straight line with the DRS, overtakes Statue, and problems have been created. Dustin will be laughing. That is a very happy Red Bull driver, because look at this. What do you see? That's right, absolutely nothing. Dustin still has clean air. What does Statue see? Not clean air, and he seems to be fighting. And Randers sees these two as well. He's starting to feel the dirty air from the drivers ahead. But he's also got like a DRS. He's also going to join this fight. Kiesa and Domska are right with them. These 5 are crabs in a bucket. They will keep pulling each other down, and in the end, none of them will make it out of this bucket. Marcus is currently in the lead. Randers has DRS though, in P3. Able to defend against Kiesa from that. He's so close to Statue though. Look at all of those DRS flaps opening up. Marcus stays in the lead though. What are they gonna do with this? There's a recipe for literally anything to happen. But I don't think that's going to be the case, because Dustin is just going to run away with his race as it stands. If Dustin can make it to the end on the tires he is currently on, he is absolutely running away with it. I don't think there's a question. Well, there is a question, because the tires might just not last. Maybe the tires are just a lot slower. There's actually a lot of questions the more you think about it. But he is catching. He is catching a lot. Cavalo now fighting with Geralt for P7. I think there's more of a real fight between these two. Also just trying to stay in it in case of another safety car. Statue moving on the inside of Marcus. This might be a bit of a more permanent move. Because Marcus now has the unenviable situation of dealing with the drivers behind as well as the driver ahead. We're going to see so many DRS flaps open up. Marcus defending but also attacking on the inside of Statue. Is that going to be a good move? Yes, it is. And Randers is also right there. He's got to try and make a move. Ooh, he's on the curbs. And the inside of Statue, Randers called it. That's a bit crazy. He looks at it. They're all getting bunched together and they're losing so much time. Hand over fist. Dustin is laughing. Dustin is sitting there. Let them fight. I'm going to be a pit stop ahead by the time these people go in. Essentially, we're watching a very elaborate fight for P2, and Statue decides to blink. He decides to box. And so does Keza, and so does Skomska. These three have decided they've had enough. And Randers and Marcus, well, they're still out. They're gonna lose out a lot, I'm afraid. Dustin, look at him. He's already past Statue. The Statue's only just started moving. Only just disabled the pit limiter. But it's a very slow exit here. And look at where they come out. Cavalo is already ahead, so is Geralt, and Statue in P6. Dustin is all the way over there. Dustin is 5 seconds ahead of these people. And was supposed to be like 1 second. He has massively extended his lead. Randers and Marcus still need to box. It looks to be... Oh, excuse me. At the death of the season, a Dustin masterclass for an unexpected and hard-fought race win. I'm comprehending that these two haven't stopped yet. People are saying maybe Dustin needs to box again. I think that's very possible, to be clear. I do think that's very possible. But he will be able, I think, to go on softs and be incredibly quick. And on top of that, Statue is still with Geralt, is still with Cavalo, is still with Keza, is still with Domschka. This is just still gonna fight. The crabs are still in the bucket. It's just a different bucket. Saying softs are not good for many laps, and that is true. Question is, how many laps does Dustin need to complete on a hypothetical new set of tires? I think at this point it might be the question of, is that even the best play? I do think Statue is catching Dustin. He absolutely is. He's also loose from the people behind. So Statue actually has a really good shot here. Randers is now in the pits. Randers in the pits and Marcus is still driving. Okay, interesting. If there is a safety car, he is absolutely the big winner here, but... are we even going to see that? Dustin in P2, also a lone driver. And Statue. Big winner over a long exchange, I think. However, he still has DRS on him, so it's not 100%. Garrett would need to fight like a lion, but he's already P8, and yeah, he's not there anymore. So Yeah, we do not have Perez shenanigans here. It's more of a... I will not say it. I will not speak. Tikra, very close behind. I think he is going to clear Geralt quite quickly. Clearing has not been the problem. It's can you stay ahead, and Geralt actually just goes into pits. Geralt also needs the box. Dustin is gaining on Marcus. And Marcus' tyre must be gone. They must be gone. Surely. But the fact that he's still on these tyres, he's still driving on them. No, maybe there is a path for Dustin to just keep driving on these tyres. I would think it's crazy. It is Brazil. Brazil is very rough on tyre wear. Specifically, the front rights will have a bit of trouble. Oh, there's been a drive-through for Michael early because of a jump start. And Marcus now finally goes to the pits. You see Dustin retakes the lead of the race. Statue behind. And Kiesa, as you can see, I did mention this. This could be an issue. Kiesa wasn't fully loose from Statue. Kiesa is in a legitimate P3 and it might actually turn into a P2 later on. Kiesa with an action... it might be a P1. Kiesa is actually in this for a win. He's not even a fixed driver. That's a reserve driver, technically. It doesn't mean anything. But, yeah. Kiesa came in halfway through the season like, I want a little bit of this. Got used to this car relatively quickly. Some people don't get used to this car, and that's completely fair because this thing is a complete menace. But I think during this race, actually, he's kind of got into the rhythm. He's putting in decent laps. And now he's in a position where he could win it all. And you do see they are gaining on Dustin quite rapidly. I do really hope for these two. I would almost guarantee they have finished their last stop. I think Dustin does need to stop. And the question is, when does he do that? The later he goes, the more likely that he can make a soft last. But I think we're looking at like another 7-8 laps on these tires. If you can stay ahead that amount of time, then that's great. But then you also don't have many laps to come back and overtake. So it might just be best to go pull the trigger now, go on mediums and push. What's Dustin gonna do? Statue and Kiesa are obviously fighting for a win between each other here. And that's, I think, the first time we can be fairly certain that that is the case. We're still not 100% certain. We're not exactly sure what Dustin's going to do, but also they're getting closer to Dustin. Dustin cannot keep this up forever. What's he going to do? He keeps the car on the track, out of the pits. Kiesa is not even activating his DRS. We call this games. Kiesa is absolutely playing games. He doesn't want that DRS, he wants this DRS. There you go. Now it opens up. Oh, but not even fully. He closes it again. That's a manual closing of the DRS. He doesn't want your position. He just wants to stick with you. They've signed a peace treaty that's saying, well, let's put some pressure on Dustin. Of course, I've mentioned it before, it has been a bit of a theme this season. It doesn't matter where you are on track, on every lap except for the last lap. You want to be close, of course. But if you're not winning by the second to last lap, it doesn't matter as long as you get ahead by the last lap. Okay, so it seems there's very good control over this car. And there's actually a bit of a contrast between him in the first stint and him right now. You can see how much he holds back. There's no intention from this man to overtake, and Dustin is still out. Absolutely playing games, this man is. He's doing a very intelligent job. And there is a bit of a trick that maybe he could pull. Because now Dustin is absolutely in range of statue. And Kiesa doesn't really want second. What he wants is first. And not just first, he wants to be first and away. Overtake and run away. That's the plan. So she's looking on the inside, and I do think this is a genuine attempt at an overtake. He is looking on the inside there, but it is just for Dustin and not for Statue. Oh, there's a bit of a spin on a collision with the wall. Sorrow is in the wall. I think he will be very happy to be out of this car by the end of this race. Another unhappy marriage. And Dustin, if he wants any chance of winning this race, he does need to box soon. I think if he waits too long, there is just no chance. Most interesting, Statue. Securing his P3 with a win today. Even with a P2 behind Kiesa, he would do it. And Dustin would need to finish ahead of Statue. That looks to be gone, that opportunity. I don't see a path anymore. I think one of the biggest strategies has to be Silver in 11th. He had a he wasn't very good at some point in the race, but yeah, Dustin now in the pits. There he goes. To see where does he come out. Domska is also going to be ahead of him. I don't think there was Marcus coming in. There was someone else. There was Sorrow, I believe. Yeah, there we see Sorrow in the pits. That might be his 7th stop or something. He's been in the pits a lot. And there Dustin goes. That means the Statue is very much, well, he already was, leading this race, fighting with Kiesa, and uh-oh, be careful. Who is that? Randers. Knock, knock. Who's there? Randers is not far behind. The longer they take, the more people they invite into this little clash. Randers was late to box, but he's still there. Still there to fight. And Marcus VR is, yeah, too far away. D-Crack could still join. That's not impossible. Kiesa does need to... Oh, stupid me. Kiesa does need to time his overtake very well, though. If he waits too long, I think he has a problem. He still doesn't do it. He kind of gets it to the wheel tracks. Just lets it be. Oh, and I think Statue's trying for a trick here, but I think he may have messed it up. And Kiesa, I think, may have done this perfectly. Randers is now closer to Statue. The Statue is to Kiesa. And Kiesa will have an opportunity to close out this race. He's currently the leader. And all he really needs is to pull 1.5 seconds away from Statue. Preferably do it before the final sector. And he is driving the wheels off of this car. Try and make that happen, I'm sure. This is absolutely an opportunity to go ahead and just win. But it's not easily done. Also, Dustin is very close to Domschka. These are fighting in Sector 2. I'm so happy to catch this here. On the inside there. I think that's PC finished next to the track. Yes. That's very unfortunate to see. Still holding on to a point in the championship. Dustin goes past. Statue is in the pits. Statue is in the pits? Randers is close to Chiesa. Okay. That is unexpected. Statue in the pits is a little crazy. That was not on my bingo card. And I think that means we just have a straight up two-way fight, unless these also have to stop. In which case, Dustin is actually winning this race. We go back to old stories, old tales of times gone, and Domschka is still fighting with Dustin. A little bit of argy-bargy between these two. Oh, and there is a touch! And Domschka! Oh, what a save! There was absolutely a collision there, and I think it was maybe a mistake from Dustin, maybe just a racing incident. But Domschka does lose a couple of positions there. Dikra is now 5th place. Our reigning champion. Back up there in Statue on new tyres and P6. Randers fighting with Chiesa for what looks to be the lead. Are they still planning to stop? Oh, that was a bit indecisive from Randers. But no harm, no foul. We might be looking forward to a grandstand finish. Randers around the outside then retakes the lead of the race after a pole position that he lost immediately. Back in the top spot. And now he's going to try and run away. And that is easier said than done. What do we make of this? This is very hard to analyze. Very, very hard indeed. We got 7 laps to go, and surely you don't stop within 7 laps of the end of the race, right? Every lap is around 70 seconds as well. We are only looking at 7-8 more minutes of good driving, well, more like 9. Round the outside, Chiesa goes. Back into the lead. Randers will want to retake it. And they do have the opportunity to fight for this. Absolutely have a clean opportunity because the next driver behind Marcus is 11 seconds behind. That is a big gap. Oh, Randers on the outside. They keep each other alive. Side by side. Chiesa still wants to be ahead. Around the outside of this corner. We've seen so many side-by-side actions here. And they're still side-by-side. What is going on today? It's so poorly behaved, these drivers. But it's good to see, because it is nothing short of some of the most entertaining driving I've ever seen. Because they had a Randers, but that gap is virtually non-existent. And it just shows the quality of these drivers. This whole season we have been fawning over how incredible these drivers have done. We've seen very few mistakes, very few contacts. There were so many moments where there could have been contact, and in any lesser league there would have been. But the quality of driving here is... it's so good to see. If you are used to playing racing games, entering an open lobby, crashing in the first corner, crashing in the second corner, and crashing on the fourth corner as well, so why not? Then this has to be a sight to behold. Some did not deem it possible, but here we are. Now, interestingly, Randers does seem to have, well, better pace. We saw the qualifying, and it seems to have turned into a race pace that Chiesa cannot match. Not on this occasion anyway, but on the straight line, I think we can see what's going on here. Randers has higher downforce, that's why he's faster in qualifying. But you can see in the race how much of a problem it can be. Oh, and that has to be end of the race for Sorrow, who has had a diabolical time as Chiesa retakes the lead. And also starting to notice that Dikra is actually in P3. He is faster than the leaders, but catching is maybe a bit optimistic. Randers and Chiesa are just fighting for the lead here. And there's not much that can stop them, except for maybe a collision. And Dikra is very, very quick. Looks like Dikra's worst finish the season will be a P3, which is crazy. Randers with the RS open. It's also so fast though, we decides to stay behind straight up. Oh. Also will want to charge that boost at some point. It's very important for the last lap. Randers decides to stay behind, and I think that's wise. It might just be an idea to save your boost. Starting now even. Try to deploy it all on the last lap. If your opponent does the same, then, well, I guess you tried. You do see Dikra has absolutely shaken himself loose from Marcus. Dustin is, well, he sees Marcus. Not quite fighting him yet. The track limits are wherever the game says they are. See a question chat. They say they're abusing the track limits, and yes, on entry it's very common that AMS2 does not care. It is wherever the game says they are, purely because that's a very simple way to run a league. Otherwise you'd have to manually go through everything. This way it is consistent for everyone, and yes, that means that the lines as colored on the track aren't accurate. But yeah, that's the way it is for everyone. It does mean if you see a way to abuse the track limits in a creative way, generally it's allowed, unless it's a flat out cut, and then that specific action will be banished. If there's a proper glitch. But that's not the case here, absolutely not. It is just people going very wide on entry. We enter lap 44, the second to last lap. After they cross the line right here. And now the games really come into play. Where do you want to be before that? Chiesa decides to stay behind, and I think he was going to continue to decide to stay behind. As Dikra does get a lot closer. Hello. What is this charge, Dikra? I know you're the champion. I know you're the best driver on this grid. We've determined that through a process of championship, I guess. So Dustin does get us P4. Well, I would love to see another fight, these two. I don't think it's going to be possible. Also, Domska and Kavlo are quite close. But what is important is here Chiesa going for his win. His first win of the season, and Randers trying to repeat what he did in Barcelona in the first race of the season, trying to make it the whole season a big random sandwich. Is that going to be... Chiesa is going to overtake through here already before the start finish line. Now that is critical, because Randers, is he going to overtake? If he doesn't overtake, he's still not over. He could overtake before the start finish line, and then we have something really interesting. It's going to be a drag race regardless, but where do you want to be? Chiesa is going to be ahead for the remainder of this lap, except for the last start finish straight, where we will decide who wins the Brazilian Grand Prix, the last race of this season, where Dikra is already champion and is 2 seconds behind. Randers has now overtaken Chiesa, because Chiesa, I think, has decided, I actually want to be behind. I just want that slipstream. I want that DRS. I think I'm faster, but calculation error maybe. Dikra, hello, is right there, and these two are trading, but they're not aware of the shark behind them. There should be boss music. Where is the boss music? Oh, Dikra is right there. They have to be aware of him now. Randers is going to get DRS. Chiesa is going to try and run away, but I think it's not going to be enough. Dikra is also going to get DRS. He might just win the last race of the season. The champion. Is it going to be enough? I have no idea. Dikra has won the race. Dikra has won the race. How? Chiesa has to settle for third. And Dustin 4th place. Marcus in 5th. This was not... No. I don't know how that happened. I'm very happy that it happened. What a brilliant race there from Dikra. And he's going to have to explain to me how that happened, because I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, there we go. Dikra has won a race. Something that looked very likely before the start of the race. Very unlikely throughout the entire race. And then suddenly happened at the end of the race. What a brilliant finish from Dikra. That is insane. And he puts a stamp on this championship as all his. The man who owns this car, the Formula Racer, the Formula 1 2012 cars roughly. He is the man who has put this car to his hand and has driven an incredible season. As we go to check who is the fastest lap. Wow, what a race. We're going to save that replay. And we're going to look at who has the fast lap. And I think it has to be Dikra with that last stint alone. Yes, it is actually Dikra. So we submit those results as they are. We double check. Let's see. Chiesa actually has 2nd place. There might be a time. No. Apparently Chiesa has 2nd place. Okay. And then we have Dustin, Marcus, Statue. With Domschka, Gerald, Cavalo, Silver JJ, PC Finch gets the last point, and Sorrow. Well, 7 stops. 7 stops for Sorrow. Gerald also had 5 stops, by the way, but still finished 8th, respectable. Yeah, submit the corrections, and then I will take you through what the hell just happened. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's switch to this. Let's talk through this, because, yeah, what the hell just happened? Okay. Where are my race results? Here they are. It is... I'm gonna make this a little bit... Oh, no, I just have this on my other screen. What am I doing? Dikra won this race in outstanding fashion. And then we have Chiesa, who apparently finished 2nd on my screen. I thought it was the other way around, but there we go. And Randers P3 will be a little bit disappointing, weirdly. But yeah, very strong race for him. Dustin in P4 actually secures his 3rd place in the championship. We'll be happy with that. Marcus in P5 in championship as well. And Statue has to settle for 4th in the championship. Domschka in 7th place. Uncharacteristic, but yeah, sometimes things go that way. Then we have Gerald, Cavalo, Silver, JJ, Finch, and Sorrow in P13. Now, We also have a couple of retirements, of course. In Onu in the first race, disconnected, unfortunately. Then Mercury, Michael, and Notabene in 17th place. Now, I do need a bigger screen for this so I can see what are the standings like. Because we know the winner. We know second place. Dustin in third place, though. Secures that P3. Then we have Statue and Marcus in that order. Gerald's P6, after all is said and done. Then we have Randers, 47 points, 7th place. Not sure if he's happy or disappointed with that. We'll have to ask him. Then we have Capital, Sorrow with a race to forget, and Michael, P10, also a race to forget, 29 points. Very close to that first list, actually. Keys at 25 points after only half a season. Very well done from him. Then we have Silver. PC Finch gets into the double digits just before the end of the season. I think they can be very proud with that. Then we have JJ, Mercury, Jordi, Notabene, Domi, Dimitri, and Maserati also scored a point. That is all the points that were scored from other drivers that either participate or intended to do so on this list. Team standings, Lotus dominant, 201 points. What a way to cap that off. And Red Bull very nicely in second place with 116 points. Ferrari 99 in third, and the Toro Rosso 86 points in fourth. You have Williams, HRT, Force India 7th, Sauber in 8th place, ahead of the McLaren, Mercedes, and the Mercedes. Mercedes just didn't perform at all. So, that is that for the race, but not everything that I have to do here. We still have a couple of interviews, so I am going to get a couple of drivers, and you will get to listen to them speak in an interview. So, I'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. All right, and welcome back to an interview of a race that honestly dissertations can be written about. We're going to figure out what happened. Essentially, that's the plan. And we're going to start with the man who upsets the whole order right at the end. The winner of this race, Dikra. How are you doing?
There were two situations.
Sorry. Wait. My bad. There was an issue with OBS. Can you start from the beginning? There was a little bit of an audio issue. So can you start from the beginning? Thank you.
Okay. Can you? But you can hear me now, right?
Yeah. Now it's good.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of mixed feelings for me. I think the second half of the race was amazing, and I think the final stint of this race was some of the best driving I have done in this league. But it's also a race where I made two errors that cost other people their race, and I'm sorry for that, and that leaves me with a bit of mixed feelings. And I also don't know whether I will still be the winner after the stewards have spoken their verdict on this race. Because at the start, there was a situation where I was 3 wide into turn 2, and there wasn't a lot of space, but I think I didn't handle that too well. I left the car on the inside, which was Michael. I didn't really leave him a car's width. He had to take to the curb and still hit me. And there would have been some space on the left for me to use, so I could have handled that better. So I apologize to Michael for, pretty much cutting him off there. And then later at the safety car restart, of course, I think I caused a lot of mayhem there because I slowed down. I was in the lead because I didn't pit, because I thought I could just ride out the old tires and then undercut everyone and win the race that way. That was my plan. But the issue was that I slowed down at the last corner, and my plan was to just go at some point. And then I got a message from the game that I was driving too slowly and that I had to catch up to the safety car. And when I saw that message, I thought, oh, damn it, I did that too early apparently. And I have to do this to not get a penalty, because I know that in this game, if you don't do that, it just gives you penalties until you have caught up. and I didn't know how long that was gonna go for. So I wanted to prevent that. But in hindsight, I should have just taken the penalty, because what ended up happening was the same thing that happened in Mugello in 2020 in real F1. So I had a relatively mellow acceleration and then slowed down gradually. But behind me, there was total carnage, because everyone thought I was going when I really wasn't, because I couldn't, because the safety car was still on track. And then they just concertinaed up into each other, and I think especially Sorrow I hurt very badly due to this, and he crashed out and lost an entire lap due to that, and also some other people. It was complete carnage, and yeah, I feel bad that that was due to myself not driving and not doing this the correct way, at least within the realms, within the confines of the game. And then I was on older tires, but I had some gap because everyone else had accelerated, decelerated, and I think I got an advantage because of that. So I got, I think, a gap of 1 or 2 seconds, and I was able to hold that. So on a little older tires, so I was very optimistic for the remainder of the race. But then after 2 or 3 laps, I think also because I didn't really practice too much, I lost the rear out of turn 2, and I spun around and lost 8, 9 seconds. And after that, I thought, well, let's just try to salvage what we can. I originally planned to do one stop, so I pit on lap 20 because my tires were pretty much broken at that point, because I had flat spotted them quite severely. And after that, my plan was to go to the end, and I undercut some people due to stopping earlier, and I got within the range of, I think, 10 seconds to Dustin and 7, 8 seconds to everyone else. And then people were pitting. There were different strategies all around, and I thought, well, I have to try to do something, because my tires were some of the oldest in the field. The only person who had older tires was Dustin. And I thought, I'm never gonna get anywhere with the old tires, so I'm just gonna boot on soft tires, which I think Dustin did the same, and see what happens. And in that last stint, I think I drove the best I ever have around Brazil. I think I was very, very consistent. I did pretty much, yeah, 10 qualifying laps, 10 perfect laps, where I don't think a lot was in there. And I didn't think I would catch the guys in front, to be honest, because it was 15 seconds at the beginning, or even more. I'm not entirely sure. And then I caught them 2 seconds a lap, around 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap, but it was still not enough. And then I think they started to play DRS chicken, and that was what allowed me to catch up to them in the final sector of the last lap. And then I had the best tires. I was behind them, and I could just floor it out of the final corner, and I managed to somehow win. I don't know how that could happen. I'm pretty amazed by that last stint, but as I said, I'm not entirely sure that's gonna be the end result. So sorry for the long-winded response, but there was a lot to unpack here.
No, there was a lot to unpack. It's completely fair. Yeah, thank you very much for all of the explanations. Yeah, whether you win that or not, it must be encouraging to have a last stint like that. Not that you need any encouragement. You've been indomitable in this car. You've won provisionally 5 races and got 3 second places, and that's your entire season. This car has been a bit of an unhappy marriage for a lot of people. Some people today retired, I think, because they were so done with the car. Is it like a little bit of a bittersweetness in this last race where you won't be seeing this in this league for a little while? Or are you actually also happy to just be in a different car next season?
I'm happy to be in a different car. I think this car somehow, I don't entirely know why, but it somehow suited me very well, suited my driving style. I'm totally unaware of why, but the car has its quirks. I think in curved traction zones, it can be very unstable, very, very hard to drive, and also sometimes very unpredictable. That has been the case throughout the season. I think it has gotten better with an update of the game, but it's still the case. And also the DRS in this car is, it makes the racing very, very unique and very particular. You have to race in a particular way, and I don't really enjoy the way you have to use the DRS. You always have to play the DRS chicken, and it basically always matters who has DRS for the last time in the last lap. And that is not I think DRS chicken and games like that are not how I want to race, and it also makes things possible, like keeping in the slipstream even on worst tires for 10 laps without losing any time, even overtaking a couple times. And also the DRS, for instance, in this race, I think it led to some unfortunate encounters also with lap cars, because after Sorrow had crashed out, he was a lap down, but we met after my spin. And he constantly overtook me, then I re-overtook him, then I lost time behind him in the dirty air. And I think things like that, at the time it happened, it frustrated me greatly. Things like that won't happen anymore with the 97 cars, and I will be happy to see them because of this.
Okay, well, yeah, DRS looks very great, and the DRS chicken, we've seen it several times this season. You've played it, you've benefited from it today. So yeah, that's not something we'll be seeing with the next cars. Of course, they don't have DRS, so yeah, it should be exciting. Anything else to add, or are you happy?
I would be more happy had I not caused that restart for sure. But other than that, I think it's it's a slightly bittersweet ending. But I'm very encouraged by how I drove today and how the championship went, and I hope I can see I can take that into next season, just with a less controversial final race. So thanks everyone for having me, and thanks for commentating this season as well as you did. I'm very excited for seeing this race in with your commentary.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be uploaded soon, so you'll have a good chance to see all of that. Thank you very much for the interview, and thank you so much for a very entertaining race and season.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and then we move swiftly on to the person who's currently, provisionally, in second place as a reserve driver. It is Ultimate Kiese. Hello.
Hello, hello. Nice hearing you, Findict. A long time we haven't talked, I guess.
It has been a long time, but yeah, very nice to see you, and especially in this context, a P2 finish, provisionally, I should add. How do you feel about that race?
I mean, really, really good. Usually, I'm also fighting for like podium positions, but in this league, I feel like, especially when it comes to F1 cars, there are so many aliens here. So I was quite surprised to be even in the game for one of those podium positions. But yeah, it feels really good, especially because there might be a post-race penalty, and there might be a win on the table. Would be my first one in the SSR as well. So yeah, that feels pretty nice.
Yeah, well, of course, the real question here is: have you done anything naughty in this race that might give you a penalty, or have you actually been fully clean?
I don't think so. There was a little contact on lap 1 with, I think, Randers, but I didn't keep the position really. And because the whole incident was caused due to me having the wrong brake bias, because the race was supposed to start on wet. I managed to change the tires, but I forgot about the brake bias, so that wasn't quite right. So I had a little lockup and a little touch. I don't think there would be a big penalty coming or penalty at all, but yeah, could be that one. Other than that, I think my race was fine.
All right. You say your race was fine, of course, and you might get the win regardless. But there was at the end, you were fighting straight up for a win with Randers.
Yeah.
But provisionally, you didn't get it. I think Dikra came behind from 15 seconds. When did you notice that Dikra was right there and that you should worry about him?
Like in the after the last corner, I noticed. The thing is, I think Randers thought I started the DRS chicken too early, but that really wasn't the case. In that uphill fast right-hander, I had a snap of oversteer and let him by again. Due to that, it wasn't intentional at all. And then I think into the second S. He played the chicken again and slowed down massively. So I did the same thing on the last corner. I think we lost must have been like 8 seconds or more due to that, which allowed Dikra to catch up. Yeah, we definitely played too much DRS chicken. so that's what allowed Dikra to win. Otherwise, it would have been between Randers and me. But yeah. I mean, in hindsight, the DRS is just too powerful, or the start-finish straight DRS zone is just way too long. I think the whole reason why I was actually in the fight for the win or for the podium was because the DRS is powerful because I could just save tires while being behind someone, which shouldn't be the case really. Usually you use more tires when you're behind someone, but I could just slow down in the corners and in the acceleration zones because you can easily gain 1.5, maybe even more seconds just using the DRS in 2 zones. Yeah. The DRS gave Dikra the win in the end, and the DRS chicken games lost it for me in Renders, definitely. Yeah, so let's see how it is without DRS when I hopefully join the guys next season.
Yeah, it's very much a combination of a very strong DRS on the car and on a track, of course, that has incredibly long straights that you can easily overtake on from a second back even.
Absolutely. It's a shame, really, because I think these cars, you mentioned it earlier, that some people have some sort of a love-hate relationship with these cars. But I think when it comes to just driving, these are probably towards the best cars there are in the game, at least for me. The DRS makes the racing a bit weird, but driving-wise, amazing cars.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. One last thing. You mentioned next season. You, I think, are intending to join it full time. We kind of know what the next cars are. Are you excited for it? And do you think you'll be fighting for a championship?
I definitely don't think I will be fighting for a championship. Also, it kind of depends on the calendar and how much I can plan it, because I'm in a band, and usually Sundays we have like studio recording stuff like that. So it sometimes collides. That's why I also have to press maybe on the last 2 races, because if I get back late from there, I might not make the race. So that's one issue. And other than that, in a normal circumstance, I think most of the other guys are just simply faster than me in this league. So I would have to do some practice to get on their level anyway. But I don't think I will fight for a championship. Maybe a win would be possible if I practice enough. At least a win that's not relying on a penalty.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll have a good time next season. Then you'll be able to join a lot of races, and we'll see if a win or a championship fight is in there for you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
No worries.
And thanks for the interview. Enjoy the rest of the night.
No worries. Thank you so much for entertaining a race and a great interview. Then we move on. We couldn't get Randers, so we are getting the next best thing, because he's the next driver on the list. Hello, Dustin.
Hi.
Very interesting race for you as well, I'm sure. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I'm honestly not really happy about this race because I feel like I should have won. I knew before the race I need to go all in because I have a new wheel which is basically running since 4 hours or so. So I needed to drive a few laps to be comfortable with it, which I still not really am, but the race, of course, has had big time. Yeah, everything is not really set up yet, so it's still low FFB, and I have only 3 screws for the base to the rig, so not really optimal for that as well, because it was moving a lot and making noises. So yeah, I have a fear that something will break during the race, but for me it was like go for it. Because yesterday I had a 3-hour cutting race, got pole, fast lap, won the race by almost a lap, and I was so motivated for this race. And when I saw, okay, nowhere track, which is really bummer, because I think this would have played into my cards even more. yeah, as said, I was starting from P5 and I was first into the first corner. So this was definitely the start of my life because, as we know, Montreal was really good for me driving into P1. Monza was really good driving to P2. But from P5 to P1 in Interlagos, the wait into turn one isn't that big. That was definitely my start today of a year, probably. And I can also say without any curse because I oftentimes didn't press it during the race because of a new wheel. So yeah, so I was driving on softs for the first two stints. Then came a safety car, drove on softs again. Then on mediums because in practice I didn't feel good on mediums. And then last stint again on softs, but I was blocked a lot by Domschka, which completely ruined my tires. This is why Dikra was driving past me so easily. And this is why he was so much faster than me, because I feel like I would have been faster than that. So seeing him win hurts a lot, because I know I should have and would have won.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the way it is. You got an opportunity there, but yeah, sometimes just doesn't go your way. Definitely some encouraging things in there, though, despite the final result. New wheel, of course, not entirely set up yet, but yeah, there should be some encouraging things in there for next season for sure. Are you excited and encouraged for next season?
Yeah, definitely, because I feel like with a new wheel, I could have been faster today with than on the old wheel, which is interesting. Um, but I was also pushing like hell all the time. And I think you really could see that after first couple of laps, I was already 3 seconds or so in front of others. So I was really surprised by this. So I think next season I will, or I hope at least, I will be more fighting for wins because with the first championship where I got without a win, maybe there will be some penalties where I got a P3 or P2, which would be really helpful because right now I would be on equal points with Stachu, but he has a win, so his best result counts more than my best result, which is a P3 currently. So if I get a P2, for example, or P3, and Ika, for example, has a 10 seconds penalty or so, and lands between myself and Stachu, I will be in front of Stachu in P3 in the championship. So yes.
It might be, yeah, it might be the case that you are equal on points. To be fair, on my calculations, that's you're one ahead, but I might be wrong. So yeah, we'll double check that for sure. Yeah, I might have missed a fast lap somewhere. I'll double check that in a bit. Okay, so yeah, that's that then. Next season should be good. Of course, no DRS chicken next season should be a lot of fun. Of course, you organize it next season. Give people a sales pitch if they are listening. Why should they join? When is it? What car is it? And what are the highlights they have to look forward to?
Yeah, definitely. It's a classic car again, or more classic car. It's the Formula V10 Generation 1. And we will drive on 8 races again, starting in Brazil. This time really with a wet start next season around. Um, we plan to start in January. Uh, I wanted to publish the real dates before this race today or tomorrow, but I may have to push our race a week before. So we may start in exactly 1 month, which is, let me check, around the 18th of January. Let's see. It depends. I have to see in the next coming days because of personal stuff for this time in January. So yes, but then yeah, classic F1 cars, no DRS, but also cars that are very easy to drive, easier than the Formula Racer, of course. And they are smaller, lighter, and we will also have refueling again next season. So this might be good for some other drivers who would like to join the races on low fuel.
All right, it should indeed be exciting. Thank you very much then for this race, for your performance today, for your performance all season, and for your efforts in organising it all. Thank you so much.
And thank you for 3 minutes.
No worries.
Thank you very much.
All right, and then we have one more driver willing to put his voice out there. It is none other than the former champion Domschka. Hello.
Hello, Findict.
How are you doing after that race? What happened with you? And what do you have to add?
To be honest, I'm quite happy that the season is over. I think there were quite some things that went against my way this season. So I'm glad that it is behind me, and I'm looking forward to the next season. This race I was very much unprepared for. I didn't drive a single lap before this race, and I think to be competitive in this league and to be on top or in podium contention, you need to be at least a little bit prepared. You need to have like an hour or 2 hours track time before the race. And yeah, I didn't have that. So my goal for this race was to have fun, and I think I have achieved it. I had quite some nice battles, quite some nice overtakes, and so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, definitely the overtake side. We definitely saw a lot of. You've pulled off a lot of incredible moves. We saw a lot of moves in general, actually. Very competitive race. There have been more side-by-sides in Sector 2 than I've ever seen in Brazil before. So, very excited to see it all. You must be happy with the wheel-to-wheel racing of everyone in the league then. And despite the practice, it's good to hear you've had a lot of fun.
Yes, I'm happy with the wheel to wheel here in this league. I think we have a very fair league. We can have very cool battles here with quite some drivers. So it's always a lot of fun because everybody has also his own style to fight, and that is very cool. Yes.
All right. Next season, you already mentioned you're excited for it. What's going to be the highlight for you for that season? What is something you're really looking forward to?
I don't know. Next season is also a little bit of a question mark for me, but because I don't know how much time I will have to actually prepare me for the race. So I will be a little bit short on time, maybe, at least for the end part of the season. And let's see how that will unfold. But I think the cars are easier to drive. That is cool because this car, as Digra said, are quite difficult in the traction zones, especially. So that will be hopefully a little bit easier. And if a car is easier to drive, then of course the field will be a little bit closer, I think. So let's see. Also, the DRS games will be gone. And to be fair, I think we raced these cars a little bit wrong because I think to be good, to have a good position, and to not destroy your race, you need to be in a DRS train for the first, I think, 2 stints of the race, and then in the last stint you need to pounce. And we didn't do that actually very often. We did this race with Käse and with Randers. And that worked quite well. And I think that is how you race these cars, at least on tracks where the DRS is very strong. In Brazil, for example, it worked very well. And at this race, it worked very well. And also, I think in Canada, it would have worked very well. So, yeah, that will be gone next season. And yeah, I'm quite happy about that because AMS2 is not made for DRS. It is way too overpowered. So we will have to work again for overtakes, and that can only be a good thing. and that DRS chicken is also gone, that will be also a good thing. But should we race with cars that have DRS in the future, I think when the DRS is strong there, is as strong there again, we should overthink. We should think how we race these cars, because I think that these constant battles aren't very good for your race. You need to have a lead car and then follow it, and then battle in the last 10 laps or so, or last 5 laps.
Yeah, well, that is true, of course. It is very exciting to watch from the sideline. So, yeah, good job not doing racing properly in these cars. It's been incredible. Yeah, well, it is what it is, of course. Next season we'll have much different cars without any DRS, where getting ahead and running away will be a lot easier compared to these cars.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's it. This season, it is fully over now. You've lost your title to Dikra. You've mentioned last time that.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah, you can essentially live with that. Next season, are you gonna retake the title?
I hope so. Like I said, I'm a little bit short on time next season, I think, especially in the last part of the season, the last 2 races or so. I will see how much I can train there. So let's see what will happen. I think these cars are cars where the qualifying will be a little bit more important than this season, so that will suit me. And also the races are will be a lot more like qualifying, because refueling is a thing again. You have like 2 sprints in a race, 2 or 3 sprints in a race, and that's more like a qualifying race. So that will also benefit me, and then we will see what happened. What will happen? So I'm excited. I must say, I'm after my title, or after our constructors title this year, I'm very glad that we will have a break now, and I don't know how much I will train now, because it takes quite some time to be as prepared as we were. So let's see. The hunger is a little bit gone, but that can also be because it is the end of the season. Let's see how much motivation I will have in January when the season will start. Maybe then I will be a lot more willing to train again. So yeah, but nonetheless, I think we will have another great season, because we have so many great drivers here in this league that are gunning for a title. Drivers like Statu or Dustin are, I think, absolutely willing to win this, to win the next title and to dethrone Dikra. So let's see. I think there's a very exciting season ahead again.
Yes, all right. So, yeah, hopefully next season then we'll see you up there fighting again. And thank you so much for this whole season, this race. And yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, thank you for commentating. I think it is always a blast to watch it back with your commentating. It's very professional, very cool.
I'm always happy to do it, and I'm glad that the drivers enjoy it as well. So
you are one of the best ads for this league.
I'm supposed to be the billboard, so that's good. That's good. All
yes.
Right. Hey, thank you very much. We're gonna cut it here. You've been brilliant, Domska. Everybody's been brilliant. Yeah, and if you have been watching, you have also been brilliant. Don't forget to follow here. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to whatever. Just click whatever buttons you like. It's I'm not your father. So, have a good day, everyone, and goodbye.